Alright, so hey Scouts, welcome back to my channel. So today, by the title, we are doing a book video. We're doing overrated books that I've read. So basically just books that are like overrated, that everyone talks about, that I've read, that I just think don't really live up to the hype. So I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I mean, kind of, not really. Not really. I'm just kind of like gonna be giving a brief description and all that. So let's get into it and all of that. So, alright, the first one we have here is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. I think that's how you pronounce it. It is this book here. Everyone and their mom has talked about this. I liked this, but I didn't love it. It was a workplace romance, kind of enemies to lovers. And it was a slow burn, but it kind of was too much of a slow burn because like after I got to like halfway through it, I was like, oh my god, this is dragging on. And it took me a while to get through it because like I kept putting it down and then picking it back up just because it was getting boring to me. Like it kind of felt repetitive and like it was just dragging on a little too much. So I just think this one was good. It was a little too long. There's how many pages? There's like 470, and like I said, it just dragged on. It was good, but it was a little too long. So this is the first one here. The next one we have here is A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. I did like this one. It was just weird because no, actually, no, I didn't like this one. I feel like I tried to force myself to like this one because everyone said they liked it, and I didn't like, it was a fast read. I was able to read through it because, like, even though it's a big book, like, this one, again, is, like, this is over 500 pages. Like, it's a thick book. It was, like, fast to read through because there was, like, a lot going on, but it was weird because they were in high school, and it made me feel uncomfortable because, like, it was just weird, and, like, also, like, the main character in it, she was, like, a virgin. He was, like, it was like a good girl, bad boy thing, but it was weird because they were both in like high school, and it was just too much. Like reading it like as like a 20, like I think I was 22, 23 when I read this, and like it felt weird. Like I was like, the fact that they were supposed to be in high school and then I'm reading this, it's weird. I didn't like it. It just made me feel, yeah, it was just weird. I feel like if they weren't in high school, it would have been better, but I just kept thinking that in the back of my mind, and it made me uncomfortable. So. And also, it was just very smutty, and I'm not a huge, like, I mean, it's okay if there's some in it, but, like, too much smut, it kind of ruins the book, and I'm just, like, it takes away from, like, the actual book, you know? So, this one was okay. The next one we have here is Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. Again, it's kind of, like, similar to this one. It was weird because they were in high school, and it was very, like, smutty, and I was like, this is weird, they're in high school, and it was just, like, too dark for them being in high school, and I was just like, it's weird. It's weird that they're in high school and it's like this dark romance, and it gave me the ick. So this one, yeah, it was just not for me. The next one we have here is The Well of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. I actually really enjoyed this. It was workplace romance again. She was like his assistant, and he was like, it's also like a sports romance, like he's a football player. I really like this, but it was just too much of a slow burn. Again, I like myself a slow burn, but like this was like too slow. This was over 500, this was like 500 pages, and like the font on this one is tiny, guys. Like, do you see that? It is tiny. But yeah, it just felt very long, and again, I had to take breaks in it. Like, I kept going back and forth with it because it was just too much of a slow burn for me. So too much back and forth. I didn't like it. So it was good, but just like not that good. Next one we have here is like a duet series. It is I don't know if this is like the Saints or Sinners series by Sophie Lark. I don't know which one's the first. I think There's No Devil is the first one. I finished this one, and it was honestly kind of a struggle to finish it. Again, these are like dark romances, but like it just felt like a very bad Wattpad story that I was like, what is the purpose of this? It was just weird. It was weird. And then the second book, There Is No Saints. I don't know if this is the first or second. You guys will have to tell me. But I DNF'd the second book, and I think it was this one, because I like read like maybe like this much, and I was like, I can't get through it. Like, I literally can't. And like the thing is, like the pages, like the words they're big. Like there's not a lot of words. It's actually a very short book, and I couldn't finish it. Like, I actually couldn't. Like I barely DNF books, but I had to DNF the second one because I couldn't read it. It was not enjoyable. There was just a lot going on. It wasn't even intense. It just made me feel uncomfortable, and I was like, I can't. So that, like, yeah, it was just weird. It was weird. This one is a series. I do like this series. I just think I did like it, but I didn't love them. I just think it was a little bit too overhyped, and it is the, what is it, the Things We Never Got Over series or whatever. The first one is Things We Never Got Over. Again, these are like thick ass books. Like, these took me a minute to get through both of them. But yeah, it was kind of all over the place for me. Like, I liked it, and I don't know. I liked it up until like this much of the book. Like, this part of the book, I was like, why? Like, the last part of the, like, it was just, yeah, the last fourth, I would say, of the book, I was just like, why? Like, why? It was going good, and then they like added things in there that just didn't need to be added, and I was like, I don't know. I love the characters, and like, I love them and the characters, but like, the ending of the book, I was like, I don't know. But I was like, okay, maybe the second one will be better. So I read this one, which is Things We Hide from the Light. This is the second book in the series. I am excited for the third book because it's kind of like about characters that you know nothing about, and it's like dark enemies to lovers, which I love enemies to lovers. But yeah, the second book, it took me so long to get through this. I started reading it like with the actual physical book, and I just couldn't get through it. So then I ended up reading it on my Kindle because they had it on there, and I read through it so much faster. I thought I started liking this one more than the first one, but then as this one started going on, I started to not like it because, again, it was just very back and forth. I hate the back and forth like romance and like the oh no and then no come back. Like, I just don't like the push and pull. I feel like once is fine, but like constantly is too much. I'm like, I don't know if it's because it's like, I don't know. And then it started getting irrealistic, and I feel like at that point I'm like, I know I'm reading a book that's fiction, but it starts getting at the point where it's like not even, it doesn't even make sense. Like, I was like, why? Like, just why? I'm excited for the third one. I liked them. I just didn't love them, in my opinion. Also, these are my opinions. Don't get mad. Okay, the last series we have here is very controversial. I know. Also, again, don't hate me. These are just my opinions. Everyone's allowed to have their opinions on books, on what they like and what they don't like. But we have here the Twisted series. So I did like 2 of the books in the series. I really loved them, but for a series overall, I just didn't get it. The first book was A Brother's Best Friend, and I thought I was gonna love this one, and it's also the smallest book here. I just didn't get it. Like, it was just all over the place. It just didn't make sense. I read it like twice, and it just didn't make sense to me. It was very like scrambled and yeah, just all over the place. Twisted Games was a workplace romance, like bodyguard and like princess one. I really loved Twisted Games. I thought it was super cute. It was really good. Again, it was kind of like forbidden love type of thing. Twisted Hate was sister's best friend and best friend's brother, if that makes sense. Yeah, so sister's best friend and best friend's brother. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll like this one. I did it. Also, this was Enemies to Lovers, which I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna love this. Like, Enemies to Lovers. No, this one was probably my least favorite out of the series, which I was so surprised for. And then Twisted Lies was probably my favorite. That one was kind of like the mysterious guy, the good like girl, and like just, yeah, I really loved Twisted Lies and Twisted Games. Those are my favorite. But overall, the series was just like not my favorite. I feel like it was, again, very repetitive. The books started to kind of seem like the same, even though like there were like different tropes in it. It all felt like the same storyline. Like, it didn't really separate from one another, and it just seemed like I was rereading the same book in like slightly different fonts, which I didn't love because it was just too much repetition, and it felt like the same. I like books that like incorporate the same characters but are like completely different things. I feel like a lot of the things were the same, and like they had the same issues, and it was like enemies, and like they didn't trust one another, and like I just didn't like that. It was very much like the books just felt very similar to one another, and I didn't like that. So that is why this series for me, it was overrated. And I know so many people loved it, which is why I wanted to read it, and I just didn't get the hype. I obviously read the series, but I definitely wouldn't pick it up again. I would probably only pick up this one and Twisted Games, like read them on their own, but I wouldn't read the whole one. This one, I couldn't do it. Like, it was so painful to read through this. Like, I was just like, oh my god, I can't. But yeah, that was all the overrated books that I've read. That, again, these are my opinions. Everyone, like, some people don't like the books I recommend, but yeah, I just thought these were overrated. They just, like, either made me uncomfortable, they were repetitive, it was too slow, or just, like, it was just not my style of book, which honestly, I thought I would have liked them. And, like, some of them I initially did like in the beginning, and, like, as I read on, I was like, no. Or, like, looking back, also my ring fell off. Or just, like, looking back, I was like, I actually didn't like that as much as I thought I did. It was more like everyone was like, oh, I love it. And then, you know, when it's like, everyone's saying you love it, they love it, and then you're like, oh, well, I should love it. It was kind of like that. But yeah, these are the books. If you guys have any recommendations for me, let me know. I have a lot of books I need to read through. But yeah, these were the books that I thought were overrated. Again, everyone's opinion is their own, and we're allowed to have them. But yeah, I hope you guys liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you like me, subscribe down below. I love y'all. Don't forget to love yourself. Until next time, I'll see ya later. Peace out, scouts. Bye.